Welcome to Gold Star Classroom, the podcast where our panelists go back to school. We'll grade them on their answers to a variety of general knowledge and trivia questions. They don't know what we're going to ask, and we don't know what they're going to say. The student with the highest grade at the end of the class will win the coveted classroom prize, the Golden Banana. I'm your host and headmaster, Professor Jerry Jaffe. Hello and welcome to today's episode of Gold Star Classroom. It is my pleasure to welcome you, my students, to today's class. Sitting on my far right is a student and a writer, Christina Perez.
Hello.
Hello, Christina. How are you?
Good.
Good, and so it should be. Sitting on my far left is an actor and poet from Mentor, Ohio, Brandon Stroud.
How's it going?
It's going good. How are you, Brandon?
Doing very good.
Excellent. Sitting on my right is a comedian who is featured on the new show Laughs, Mark Riccadonna.
Howdy.
Howdy. That's all you got to say for yourself?
Well, I was going to say cool pony.
I'm going to give a plug real
Cool
quick.
pony. And sitting on my left is a student who's a comedian, filmmaker, Sean Lynch.
You said there would be snacks.
After class.
Oh,
And only for the students who get a passing grade.
You get a golden banana. You can
Yes.
what is the nutritional value of a golden banana?
Well, I am your teacher, and I'm going to be asking you guys questions from across the world of science, history, and human learning, and then I'll be grading your answers. The student with the highest grade at the end of class receives the coveted classroom prize, the Golden Banana. Are you ready?
Yes.
Let's do it.
All right. Here, there is pressure, but fortunately for you, I'm a good teacher.
You
So I'm
can
gonna
only
help
get
you work through
nutrients if you ingest them orally.
Here is, I can neither confirm nor deny that medical opinion, but I will ask this. The International Atomic Energy Authority ranks nuclear accidents, and it ranks them on a scale of 1 to 7, where 7 is worst. So I'm giving you that information to begin with. In the history of nuclear power plants, there have only been 2 accidents ranked at the worst rank of 7.
Godzilla 1. Godzilla 2. You can put the banana on my desk.
Yes, no one is beating that answer. That's
you can
for
just
sure.
inbox me that golden banana.
Homer Simpson.
Yeah, right.
3.
Homer Simpson has repeatedly averted nuclear disasters.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, he's right there to defend Homer. Like, dare you blaspheme?
I mean, they've had numerous incidents of like the 1 to 2 level,
Yeah.
but there have only been 2 accidents so severe that they've been ranked as 7s.
In the United States?
In the world.
In the world.
That is
Chernobyl and 3 Mile Island.
Chernobyl is one of the 2. You get 10 points. 3 Mile Island is the biggest accident on U.S. soil, but it is only ranked a 5.
Oh, Japan. Oh, sorry.
No, go for it if you know it. Yeah.
Oh, the recent incident in was it Kyoto or something, or was it? I'm
Three-eyed fish now.
I'm blowing.
Does anyone remember the name of the famous reactor
That's
accident?
why we keep you around.
You're a writer, Christine. I bet you know.
I can't remember.
So you're not a reader, you're only a writer. I gotcha. Anyone remember the name of the reactor? It is in Japan, you are correct.
Okay.
The other one is the recent Japanese one.
Didn't a tennis court wash up in like Oregon that was from Japan?
No, but that's kind
That
of
is neither confirmed nor denied.
Fukushima.
Correct! We have a winner, 10 points.
Oh, Jerry said not to swear.
Look at that.
Yeah, be careful how you say that. Fukushima. That is the other 7.
I was over there in the Fukushima thing.
The Fukushima accident's relatively recent, a result of the tsunami and earthquake. However, does anyone remember the year of the Chernobyl disaster?
1986.
We have a winner. 1986.
He'll never forget it. He was at his 3rd Poison
How can
concert.
I? Сенько, прошу, послушайте меня. I'm back. He's
Yeah.
my twin. I love him.
Minus 5 points for attempting visual humor on an audio medium.
There were sound effects.
But there were sound effects.
I live. Back in, Mishka.
They're both ranked 7. The Chernobyl disaster had deaths associated with it. Do you know the statistic on how many Chernobyl-related deaths there were?
Well, the cancer alone.
Well, interestingly, and I'm glad you brought that up, the cancer alone, I don't know, it falls into a different category of the question I'm asking. And the reason is there were immediate deaths due to radiation poisoning, which is different from deaths
And
from
slow
long-term
deaths.
exposure from cancer. And in all of these cases, certainly Fukushima and Chernobyl, those long-term cancer fatalities are hard to measure because cancer occurs naturally.
Mm-hmm.
So there's probably is almost certainly going to be an upspike, and has been an upspike already. But if it goes from like 20% of the population dies of cancer to 21% of the population dies of cancer, it's hard to formulate a number.
It's a lot.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but in the actual like weeks of the aftermath of the event, there were people who got radiation poisoning for being around the damaged core
That was in Pripyat?
in Chernobyl.
Yeah, but Pripyat specifically, we're talking because the Chernobyl plant. I don't know.
Well, the Chernobyl plant is in the Ukraine.
Right.
That I know. I don't know if there's like a state or region that goes
the
with
town
it.
that surrounded the reactor was called Pripyat.
Reminds me of them guys over in Pompeii. Never forget.
The battle to contain the contamination involved over 500,000 workers, and the damages I found were listed in rubles, 18 billion rubles. It's about $400 US, I think. I'm not sure how that translates.
Give or take $1.
During the accident itself, 31 people died. Do you know it's more recent? 2008, I believe. No, 2011 was the year of the Fukushima disaster. How many fatalities there were, like, right at the accident?
But that was another one that's kind of weird because wasn't it right when the tsunami came through?
You are correct. I'll give you 5 points. There were 2 deaths on the site of the nuclear power plant, but they were both tsunami-related deaths. So they did not have any reported, like, radiation sickness-related
People
deaths.
melting.
No people melting,
No hills of ice.
thankfully.
We don't know yet.
No lizards
Right.
taking over Tokyo.
Right.
Could be.
And
I'm
with
optimistic.
Chernobyl, the radiation that spread over a large area, including into Europe. But as it spreads out and settles, it becomes part of the background radiation, which is not to say it's a day in the a picnic in the park. But conversely, it's probably not as dangerous as people fear it might be. It's really right there at the time the
You
radiation
don't want to be
sickness.
picnicking in the park when that radiation.
Well, they do in Denver. Denver has naturally occurring radon in the mountains, and Denver has higher background radiation than most places in the U.S. and in most of the places affected by Chernobyl.
Spacemen.
Spacemen.
Okay.
They call it radon. That's what they call the spacemen.
Come to Denver where the sentient trees scream.
Where the trees glow like the sun.
Something you might have a festival for, you know?
I know, right?
No wonder they legalized pot.
I'm going to celebrate my computer not crashing by giving all the students 25 bonus points.
Oh,
Thanks, Apple.
And Christina did get bonus points for knowing Fukushima. Sean did know Chernobyl. You did turn Fukushima into a dirty joke. Brandon, you're going to have to step up over there.
I fixed the technical difficulties in our previous recording session.
Teacher's pet.
he just out-bananaed all of us.
We need teachers' pets.
The reason we exist right now.
He can handle a banana, I'll tell you that.
Is that school appropriate?
I have a question. As long as he keeps it PG rated, it's school appropriate. I do have a question that is going to sound probably obvious when you hear it, but it's one of those that there's more to it than it sounds like. Let's see if you can tell me, your teacher, what is the Ides of March?
I know.
Yes,
Okay, Mark raised his hand first.
Caesar, March 15th, which is my wife's birthday. Everybody
Okay.
take note. send presents.
Mm-hmm.
They said, beware of the Ides of March, which is, I'm just going to say it's how they said the 15th of March.
Almost everything you said is correct so far. You're racking those dinging sounds you hear, your points going up and up and up. Woohoo! Ding, 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 ding.
Somebody was going to get killed. Somebody was in danger of being,
Well, it is.
Said, beware of the Ides of March.
That I will say, that is the legend that subscribed to his biography. Sometimes those things, especially thousands of years in the past, are hard to confirm.
The Bible.
It is certainly. We'll just continue on as if you hadn't said that. Although I completely agree with you, it's just not the subject of the day. At least Shakespeare knows he's fiction. So 10 points for Shakespeare. And Shakespeare does repeat that legend, which is one of the reasons why it's in the popular imagination. And you did say something which is also correct, by the way, sir, but which opens up this other area that I think is more challenging. You said you think it's just what they called March 15th was called the Ides of March, and that is correct. Why is March 15th called the Ides of March on the Roman calendar? There is a reason.
The number 15 in Roman numerals?
Actually, an intelligent guess, but wrong.
Intelligence ain't my strong suit.
Nor is guessing. What is the Ides of March? Why does that exist? What does it mean to call something? Christina, looks like you want to say something, but you're not quite sure what it is you want to say.
That happens a lot.
She's just gassy.
Is it something? Is it something where it has to do with the middle point of a month turning either into its next month, or it's like a hump day of a month or something, and it's like you could either continue and go forward, or you could.
On the usual Roman calendar was 30 days, and the 15th of every month was the hump day of the month, if you will, and that day is called the Ides of whatever month it is.
Wow, look at you and your facts.
Well, he's just a better guesser than you are.
I dared to guess.
Yep, you got to put yourself out there, Mark. Don't be so shy.
The only one answering.
Yeah, Sean, what's going on in your part of the classroom?
Trust me.
Put down that beer and answer a question.
I want a banana. All right, keep coming with the questions. I'll keep trying to reach for them bananas.
Oh, there's a prophecy here. This is what is it? An anagram. The Ides of March. You rearrange those letters. Dies.
The dies of March.
Dies.
I will say, and some months the Ides of the month were the 15th and some were the 13th, but it was the basic idea that you were halfway through the month.
That's how my paycheck has been working lately.
Every 2 weeks isn't always every 2 weeks,
No, it's
is
really
it?
not. It's really not.
The original Roman calendar was lunar, and so they tried to keep track of the full moon, and the Ides day is also supposed to be the full moon day.
Full moon.
There's another fact interesting to me and apparently unknown by students elsewhere in the world. In the old Roman calendar, March was the first month of the year.
What?
January being the first month of the year is a modern calendar development.
Huh.
And so the Ides of March, even without reference to Caesar, would be the first full moon of the year. And that was like important to the calendar. So it was already an important day. In fact, if we follow the Shakespearean version of events, Caesar was going to be crowned that day. So this is sort of hypothetical, but probably it makes sense that he...
Something to do with werewolves.
Yes, and something to do with werewolves. Beware the Ides of March, Michael J. Fox.
And to a lesser extent, Jason Bateman.
Caesar wolf coming.
Sean, you're a person who appreciates a good meal, aren't you?
Yes.
I'm hungry.
You said there would be snacks.
If you can tell me in the next 5 seconds what the third most popular soda in 1950 was.
Dr. Pepper or Mr. Pibbs?
Damn.
No,
Mountain Dew.
no. Let me let the cat out of the bag.
Royal.
Why is 7-Up called 7-Up?
Oh, I knew this. Hold on.
Seven Up was at one time the third most popular soda.
Ingredients.
Make 7-Up yours.
Here's a great question. This is for the real trivia heads, not normal students would know this, so I just want to share this. 7-Up was not its original name. It got changed to 7-Up. When it was originally invented and marketed, it had a completely different name that either you know or you will never guess.
Sprite.
Wrap your ears around this. Bib label lithiated lemon lime soda.
That was the title.
That was the original name of 7-Up.
It's catchy. I'll give him that. But
That's a billboard.
And that product was launched 2 weeks before the Wall Street crash of 1929,
there you go.
which may itself explain why its name had to be changed.
Right.
It had enough obstacles.
Okay.
Holy.
7-Up. Economy. I'm seeing you're giving us the answer here. 7-Up. Something, stocks were going up. Things were good.
Heavens no, stocks were not going up.
7 floors up is where the people rent.
I will say this might have been a happy coincidence of marketing. You have probably heard, this is a common urban legend, but actually true, not just an urban legend, that Coca-Cola originally had a type of cocaine in it and was served for medicinal purposes, not just as a refreshing beverage.
It heals whatever ails you.
Like low self-esteem.
Well, bib label lithiated refers to lithium citrate, which is a mood stabilizing drug.
Huh.
Soda
An
pop
upper.
was awesome back then.
Grandpa was nuts.
Well, he took 7-Up to try to even out his moods.
Right.
And Coca-Cola to stay awake for 3 days.
And then 7-Up to come down.
Who wants to tap dance on a flagpole?
It was caramel colored and marketed as having a flavor wallop. Flavor wallop. And I'll give you this. Since we get the idea that it, like Coca-Cola, it was marketed as a home remedy, it was actually marketed as a home remedy for a very specific common ailment.
Hysteria.
Depression.
Hysteria, depression, all reasonable guesses, but not correct in this case.
Help you sleep.
Gastrointestinal distress.
Upset.
You,
tummy.
that's your guess, or that's what you're...
I mean, you didn't say there would
Headaches
be
is
so
the
many
closest answer
stairs.
to the correct answer. A particular type of headache.
Migraine.
Migraine.
What are those called? Those brain flashes? Those
Hangovers.
hangover.
It was marketed as a hangover cure.
Let's go get some 7-Up.
Yes,
Right on.
absolutely. Unlike V8, which we know you can find out what the original 8 ingredients in V8 were, there was advertising for 7-Up in the early days as containing, this is a quote from advertising, a glorified drink in bottles only, 7 natural flavors blended into a savory, flavory drink with a real wallop. So they used to
They love
mark.
wallop.
They certainly
I
did.
really do.
They used to say it had 7 natural flavors. Either that was just advertising bunkum,
Yes.
puffery, they say, I guess,
Puffery.
or the original recipe. We don't know what those 7 flavors were.
Where they were just
Get
live.
thee to a puffery.
Mickey Mantle likes to have a 7-Up right after 14 cigarettes. That's what makes
That's
him
a load of bunk. You do mean puffery, my good man.
Oh, that's quite a wallop you packed
Who
there,
let the
sir.
dandy fop into the bullpen? Lord Fauntleroy, what are you doing with the Yankees?
This is now old-timey classroom. Mark, to the corner with you. 13 lashes and a dunce cap.
We'll take away his penny farthing bicycle. There we go.
He was run over by a horse on the way to school. I've been waiting for Sean to ask for another serving, sir.
Give me another. Yeah, give me some more of that banana.
All right, well, we have reached the part of the show where I go back to my grade book and try to add up all these numbers.
much like nuclear disasters, none of the numbers are higher than 7. In fact, some people's grade may be 7. But before I calculate your final grades, I'm going to give you each one more chance for extra credit.
Yes.
In the form of an open field essay question. You please share with the class some interesting trivia or factoid. Who would like to go first?
I'm going to step up.
Brandon.
I'm going to bring you into the realm of philosophy here where I feel comfortable. I'm going to say a quote, and we're going to see where it takes me here.
Okay.
I create and destroy beliefs based on their usefulness. That's my initiating quote, and I'm going to get into that for a minute. I believe now it is in people's best interest to do the same, to create and destroy beliefs based on having multiple filters to see the world through, rather than getting stuck in any one sort of religion or group or whatever.
Sure.
So that's advice to those listening.
Right.
A philosophical sort of invitation, I guess you could say.
Is that a Brandon original? You're quoting a philosopher.
I am picking something out of a book about magic. It's called Chaos Magic.
Okay.
It is that anyone can sort of do the same, create and destroy beliefs based on usefulness, and that is a sort of magic in itself.
Is the author well known?
No, probably not. No.
Okay.
No, probably
Okay.
not.
Do you know his name right now?
No, not
Minus
at all.
10 points. All right. Who
No
has... You could have bluffed me.
Well,
but you were honest.
I was
but
honest.
you have to accept the consequences. All right. Thank you, Brandon.
Yes, I destroyed that.
You created and destroyed your grade
Yes,
simultaneously.
I did.
Christina, you must know something interesting.
Whose company motto is "Don't be evil"?
Whose company motto is "Don't be evil"?
Dr. Evil? Don't be evil.
The CIA?
Very successful. Use it every day.
Wonder Bread.
Don't be evil. That's a good...
Walmart. Well, they have a smiley face on there.
Starbucks?
No, they're evil.
Oh, well, Starbucks gives 88% of their political donations to Democrats, so they're good in my book.
Well, that's what you would say if
Okay.
you didn't want to be evil.
That's true. That's
That's
exactly what
so-
Dr. Evil would say.
Yeah.
That would be written on the outside of his building.
Yes.
All right, Christina,
It's,
which company?
Google.
Google.
Wow.
I knew there was something weaselly about them.
Yeah.
Sean, what do you got?
Okay, in keeping with our whole sort of Halloween theme that you were beginning with, I have a question about this is actually about the I'm originally from Salem, Massachusetts. This is a question about American history in terms of the witch trials of 1642 in Salem, Massachusetts. Now, during that time, there was this mass hysteria in Salem where these people were trying to hunt down witches, and a lot of people unnecessarily were killed and accused of being witchcraft. And during all that hysteria and all that death and all those trials and hangings and burnings and pressings and all these things, there was one man who said that it was puffery or poofery or bunkum. And what was the name of that one man? That one man who actually went up against the government and the church to say that the witch trials were bunko.
Dr. Van Helsing, of course.
Dennis and Gabagool.
Yes, of course, the Ohio public school system has failed you, but
I would have thought Gandalf.
yeah,
John Proctor.
that guy. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
there
that
you
was
go.
awesome.
I'll take it, I'll take it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So that's a real guy.
Yeah, John Proctor.
Daniel Day-Lewis.
And John Proctor was actually sentenced to jail and eventually killed for actually saying that this whole witch thing is just bunko. His wife was almost killed as well, but he was able to get the town to sign a letter saying that she was innocent if he would confess. Yeah,
Blacken his name.
Yeah,
and
if
not
you'd-
her-
Abigail.
Abigail. Actually, it was Abigail. Was it Abigail Proctor?
Was it
Yeah,
the-
you might be right. That wasn't it.
The devil done took my soul to Barbados.
That sounds like a John Lee Hooker. Tituba, who was the maid.
Yeah, the maid.
The
Yes.
maid that taught the young girls tricks to while away the cold hours of.
I feel like to bring closure to this particular topic, we should elucidate the students at home about. There's a famous 20th century American play on the subject called
The Crucible.
and written by.
Arthur Miller.
Arthur Miller.
Thank you.
And the Crucible was actually metaphorically based on the McCarthy trials.
You're right.
Yes.
Of,
Well, that was like the symbolism.
Yes.
But I gather, as you were saying, there's actually a lot of like historical transcriptions, like things people really said in the original
Oh yeah.
witch hunts. Miller incorporated into the script. So it's almost docudrama.
Sure.
Mark Riccadonna.
Evil backwards is live.
An irrefutable fact. Or is it live?
Did Google pay you to say that?
We gotta Google that.
We gotta Google.
Live or live.
Why do I want to airbrush this on the side of a van next to a dragon with a chick with big
Google.
boobs and a sword?
And Google backwards is spelled live.
El Google.
El Google. The great South American revolutionary of 1880.
The mustache he had, boy.
All right, well, I finished calculating your final grades, and it just remains for me to award the golden banana to the top student, which is Christina Perez. Well done, Christina. Thank you for coming to class. And that's my job as a teacher, to validate the good students while crushing the spirits of the poor ones. So it just remains for me, your host, Dr. Jerry Jaffe, to thank you guys, Sean, Brandon, Christina, Mark, for being today's students. Thank you.
Thank you.
Where's
Take
my
it away,
snacks?
Dick Diggler.
Where's my snacks, Jerry? Give me the snacks.
Gold Star Classroom is written and produced by Jerry Jaffe. Our producer and engineer is Stephen Gutierrez. Original music composed and produced by Jeff Geddert. Mr. Geddert is also our assistant producer. All commentary and opinions expressed by guests of Gold Star Classroom are meant for entertainment purposes only. For Gold Star Classroom, I'm Jerry Jaffe.